Welcome to A Gallon of Questions. My name is Pat Gallen, and today we have a guest who is with us. You may recognize him from his viral videos across Instagram, TikTok, whether he's maybe ripping on the Dallas Cowboys or making a bad dad joke. They're all good, but they're all also bad. He has probably come across your feed. You know him as FidDad CEO Dave Olgeton is here. What's up, Dave? How are you?
Man? How are you?
Thanks for coming in. I appreciate this.
Yeah, no
like we were
problem.
talking, you can't get the same vibe via Zoom. Like it's got to be in person.
Totally different vibe.
It's got to be in person. So you're a content creator. Does it ever get weird to say that? That I'm like,
Yeah.
that's my job.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah. Hi, I'm a content creator.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it really didn't exist, I guess, before like 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess for me, I never thought that I'd be my title, but yeah, I like it.
Did you grow up wanting to be like actor? Like, was that theater or anything like that?
I always say no, but like at the same time, if it was like there, I'm like, yeah, I would love to jump into that.
For sure.
Something like that, yeah.
I was big. Obviously, sports is like my life, but I always wanted to be on Saturday Night Live because I thought that looked cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was never going to go down that road, but it was the same thing. Like, all right, if this happens,
If it
that's kind of
happens,
cool.
yeah.
All that stuff's pretty neat. So, when did you realize then that this was like you could make this a full-time gig?
It was actually, it didn't take me very long. I think it was like maybe within a year of doing it. I started seeing other people doing the same thing, and then I'm seeing them monetizing their platform and working with brands, and I was like, if they can do that, I was like, I can definitely do it. And
Sure.
I've seen it before, even before I really started making content. But yeah, it's something that it didn't take me very long to honestly jump.
This is right around the pandemic, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Right at the start of it, actually, yeah.
What triggered it? You're just like,
I
we're
mean,
all in
it
the
was-
house, we're bored, like
Yes,
let's make stuff
literally,
happen.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
We were in the house and we were bored and we were making. I was making content based off of what was going on with the pandemic and
Sure.
just from a parent's point of view.
Right.
And a couple of them took off, and it just kind of rolled from there.
How do you keep it fresh? Like, how do you keep it rolling? Because it seems like something's popping up every day.
It's really easy. We have 6 kids, so like we're constantly being fed like content.
Yeah.
And even if it's not something that's exactly happening, we always know someone that it's happening to.
Sure.
And that's kind of a lot of what happened with the content that I was making during the beginning of the lockdown and all this other stuff. And it wasn't necessarily things that were happening to us, but things that we heard people saying, and we were like, oh, that's relatable. And so that's really what it is. As long as it's relatable, you'll always be able to find something to make content about.
So if the well starts to go dry, will you have like 7, 8, 9 kids?
No.
You're done.
Not.
You're done right
No,
there.
Absolutely not.
You're done at 6. You have 6 kids at home. Your wife's here. She's like, nope.
No, she's like, no, absolutely
done.
not. No, it's not worth it for the content. No, but it's
I'm getting a side eye over here. I can feel it. I'm in trouble.
no, I mean, when the well runs dry for content, like I'm actually right now feel like I'm kind of going through like a dry spell.
Yeah.
And usually that's just because I'm just like burnt out. I
Sure.
have so many ideas and I was just saying this yesterday to Jackie. I was like, I have so many ideas that I write down, and then I start to spawn off into other ideas.
Yeah.
And then I end up not doing any of them. So it's like really just getting one of those down and
Going back to it, revisiting, and trying to get the juices flowing.
Yep, exactly.
I like that. What's some of your favorite stuff that you've done? Is there anything that stands out?
My favorite is always going to be my dad jokes that I
Yeah.
do, because they're easy to make. 2, I still remember in the very beginning of doing this, I would laugh at my own dad jokes. It would take me like 5-6 minutes just to
Well,
record.
wait. We're dads. We always laugh
Yes,
at our own
exactly.
dad jokes.
Yeah. So we, I mean, but some of them, like I literally couldn't get out of my mouth because I was laughing so hard trying to record them.
That's great.
And I still always wanted to go back and do like kind of like a sizzle reel thing of some of my old stuff. But yeah, the dad jokes are still my favorite. I do love doing the before kids, after kids stuff also.
Yep.
So yeah.
So parenting videos, obviously the dad jokes. Turning 40 hits home for me. So when I see you pop up on the feed, I'm like, I feel that like deep inside.
But you feel it though.
You do feel it.
Physically feel it.
Physically actually feel it. Mentally, physically, emotionally, the whole thing. What do you think, like what's the family think of all this? Was it weird at first and now it's like just normal?
The weirdest thing I think was when we would go out in public. I think is what was the weirdest is I think it was was Disney, I think, right? It was the first time,
Okay.
I think, yeah. And we went down to Disney, and all of a sudden people were like, "Are you the guy that does the dad jokes?" And I was like, "Is this serious?" I'm like, "Is this for real?"
Is someone putting me on here?
Yeah, I was like, "Are people actually like?" So yeah, that was weird a little bit, and then I'm kind of getting used to that more. But I think that was probably the biggest adjustment, is just being able to go out and just like people actually like recognizing us.
Sure. What do you think you've learned? Like, if we want to get deep here on the couch, like, what have you learned about yourself throughout this whole process? Like, about being a dad and about being a husband and all that.
I would say, honestly, like, don't let it go to your head.
Yeah.
Because it's really easy to do that.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's probably the short of it. But yeah, don't let it go to your head quickly, because it can be gone just as quick.
Do the kids, because you're their dad, so they probably do think that you're corny, right? Like, your kids always think their dad's corny.
Yeah.
But are they secretly like, oh, he's all right, he's kind of cool?
It depends on the day. It depends on when you ask them. It depends on who you ask also.
Yeah.
The oldest, I can't really speak for her. She kind of is like, some days it's okay. Some days she really doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
It's the younger ones are always the ones that are like, I mean, our youngest, not our youngest, our second youngest just came into my office the other day and said, "Dad, how many followers do I have?" And I was from one video that she did, like, she did a video with me. And I remember we were like joking with her. We're like, "Do you know how many likes you got on that video?"
Yeah.
And so she'll still come in there. It was literally, I think it was yesterday she came in and she said, "Dad, how many followers do I have?" And I was like, I don't know. I have to go check. I don't know.
That's the way the world is these days, right? That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
So they like being involved then. Like, they want to get involved with
the younger ones like being involved for a limited amount of time.
You obviously grew up in the area. You're a Delco guy. You live in Chester County now, you were saying. So I see you posting in your A.J. Brown jersey, you got your Saquon jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So Philly sports plays
All
a big
day.
role
4 for 4.
in life.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we started getting into the union for a little bit as well. It's funny because I never was into sports until I was an adult.
Yeah.
My dad tried getting me into it, but I was too interested in Power Rangers when I was younger. It's funny because like I was joking the other day, like I was trying to tell my son something about basketball, and our neighbor was playing basketball with him, and he told him something, and it resonated, and I'm like, I've been telling you that for 3 years, and I'm like, so yeah.
They don't want to hear you say.
They don't want to exactly. They don't want to hear me say it. So yeah, I didn't really get into sports. I honestly wasn't even a huge Eagles fan until I was probably like 18, 19 years old. It was a year before they went to the Super Bowl with McNabb, and that was like, I was like, wow, this is. And I was watching the games. I just wasn't really following it or understanding it.
Right.
And now I'm like, I'm obsessed.
It's like a drug, right?
Yes,
like you get involved in, especially Eagles is perfect because it's half the year and it's once a week, and everything in between, like the Monday through Saturday, is fun because you can banter with your friends, you can talk smack about the team or the team they're about to play, and then Sunday you get that 3 hours on the couch or at the game, and it's like, it's the greatest.
And you're either going to be depressed afterwards, or you're going to be like, okay.
In this town, depression usually is the case.
Yeah.
But these days it's a lot more fun.
It's more up than down lately, so that's a good thing. Yeah.
We are more up than down.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun with like Eagles, Phillies. You guys go to Phillies games?
Yep. Yeah, we just went to Phillies game. What was it? End of June, I think it was. We went to the Phillies game, and our middle kid Millie, she got to high five the Fanatic.
Amazing.
It was like it was. I don't know what team they were playing, but it was the hottest day. The humidity was at like it was like 70% humidity. And they were ready to go in the first inning, and they made it through the entire game.
Wow.
Thank goodness, because the Phillies ended up coming back and winning that game.
Oh, wow, cool.
And it was just cool. We were sitting next to the dugout, and they could see the players. And so yeah, it's hard to get all of us to go somewhere sometimes because there's so many of us. But yeah, we love our Eagles, Phillies. Sixers, Flyers. Whenever they're
do you try to shoehorn Philly sports like into your content?
Always.
Or yeah.
Yes. I mean, I'm
any way you can get it in.
Yes. Anytime I can crap on Dallas, I will take the opportunity. And I love that there's like other content creators in the area that will like jump in and be like, I'll do that with you in a heartbeat.
I saw you do something with E-Rock, who's actually done a lot of stuff with us in the past.
Yeah. So yeah, E-Rock is always down. Like that dude will drive an hour.
He sure will.
At the drop of a dime and be like, yeah, I'm there. He's like, look. And I love working with him. We just did something else for the home game that they just had.
Yeah.
And that did really well too.
You got favorite memories over the past few years of any games you've been to? Any moments, Philly sports?
Oh God, there's like so many. I mean, obviously the Super Bowl, the Eagles Super Bowl.
What were you doing for that?
We actually had a party at our house.
Oh, cool.
We had a bunch of friends over, and I think it was the first time I actually legitimately cried after a game. And even the kids are like, "That's crying." Jackie cried too, so don't laugh. Yeah, Maddox cried.
That's awesome.
Our second oldest.
That's
great. So that is all. I can replay that like moment in my head forever. When was it? The Phillies when they went to the World Series. We went to the NFC Championship game the year that Hurts took them to the Super Bowl.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Oh
and
man, that was the vibes in that place.
Amazing.
I remember walking around the stadium before that game, and you could just feel the energy in there. It was like something's gonna happen here today, and it did.
I don't know what it was. It was like I was like a little concerned about that San Fran team, and I was like, I don't know, but that defense just went in and just tore them up.
They sure did.
And it was cold that day. I remember because we were sitting up and watching the game, and we were like, let's get this thing going. Let's get some juices going. And I forgot totally about the cold the rest of the game. It was so yeah. It was a lot of memories over the last. We've
had some good memories
in
recent years. As a kid, we did not have those.
Not
here,
so much,
here
no.
in Philly.
But yeah, it was still good. I remember like Brian Dawkins' retirement ceremony here, and we were actually at that game. I think that was a Panthers game that Cam Newton ended up coming back and winning that game, unfortunately.
That's right.
But
That's right.
I still remember
that.
our second oldest. He was like, "This is my first Eagles game, Dad. Are you kidding me?"
Thank you.
He's like, "This is it. Thanks."
And the game is called Delco or Not.
Okay.
So I will throw at you a landmark. I will throw at you something in the area. You have to tell me if it's Delco or not. You think you can do this?
All right, I'm down for that.
All right. Delco or not. Swiss Farms.
Delco.
That is correct.
That's
everybody, but only people from Delco would know what Swiss Farms was. Cardinal O'Hara High School, Delco or not? Delco, yeah. Longwood Gardens, is that Delco or not?
That's not Delco.
That is not Delco. That is in Chester County. Yeah. You're correct. How about Linvilla Orchards?
Delco all the way.
This is too easy for you.
This is Delco all the way.
Quarterback Matt Ryan, was he Delco or not Delco?
He was not Delco.
He was not Delco.
He was not Delco.
I should have done harder. This is too easy. I should have done harder questions. How about the Lagoon? Do you remember the Lagoon?
The Lagoon is
was that
Delco all the way,
yes,
man. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I love the Lagoon.
I've asked people that question before, and they always light up when I say the Lagoon.
The last time I was at the Lagoon, I'm almost certain it was a Juvenile that they brought in, and I'm pretty sure it closed like the month.
Yeah, they're like, that's enough. We had enough. How about Brandywine Battlefield? Is that Delco or not?
That is not Delco.
You're correct. That is Chester County.
Yeah.
Pika's Pizza, Delco or not?
Delco.
Jameer Nelson, Delco or not Delco?
Don't do that. No, not Delco, but
he is Delco.
Is he?
He's Chester City, Delaware County.
Okay, yes, okay.
That was a little bit of a trick question.
Yeah.
And that, my friends, is Delco or not Delco with Dave. You did really well there. That was easy enough.
I didn't get one, but yeah.
My last name's Gallon, so I have a gallon of questions here.
Okay.
Could be anything in here. We pull questions from it. We try to answer them to the best of our ability. What do you think?
Okay.
Jump in?
Yeah.
Grab one. We'll see what we get in the gallon of questions.
Where were you when the Eagles won the Super Bowl?
We just answered that.
We were in our living room in our house.
It's funny you got that as the first question.
Yeah, I didn't even look at it. We were in the living room of our house, and we were hosting
how many people?
A party. God, we had a lot of people that day. I mean, it was like 15.
Yeah.
15, 20 people maybe.
So you guys were crying? Were other people crying too? Because I heard that from a lot of people. There were a lot of tears that day.
We ended up they stayed for a while after that too. We were just I think we were just in shock. We couldn't believe
the high of it happening.
Yeah.
I was actually there in Minneapolis. And
wow.
It was, I grew up in Philly, grew up a huge Eagles fan, and just to be in the building where that was happening on the field, we started shoveling confetti into our bags because we're give this as gifts to people. This is Christmas gifts here. So that was a really cool moment.
Awesome.
I'm glad that everybody in Philly and beyond got a chance to finally feel that.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. Who's your favorite comedian? Do you have one?
Oh God. Jim Gaffigan, I would have to put at the top there.
Yeah.
We've seen Jim Gaffigan.
So dry.
Oh,
so good, though.
He's so funny. We've seen him 2 or 3 times. It's also relatable because I think he has 5 kids.
Okay, yeah.
So he does a lot of the parent humor. And I think we went once when she wasn't pregnant and then once when Jackie was pregnant. And I'm pretty sure we almost peed ourselves laughing. It was so funny.
He's going on tour with Jerry Seinfeld soon.
Oh, we've seen Seinfeld 3 times now.
How is his show?
He's good. He's always good though. But he's just he's polished.
Yeah.
He's always gonna have something. He's kind of entering his grumpy old man phase now. So when we saw him the first time, it was definitely way funnier. I think more relatable. But this is more yelling at the
Jim Gaffigan is a good one. That is a good one. What does an Eagles fan have in common with an angry chicken? That's a dad joke.
I don't know.
I forgot to write down the answer. That's not the answer, though. Probably has something to do with clucking.
Yeah, I was going to say. Now I'm going to have to look that up.
Now we have to look that up.
Yeah.
Hope there's no more dad jokes in here without answers. If you were a professional athlete, which sport and position would you want to play?
Football, wide receiver.
Football, wide receiver?
Yes.
Yeah, I was a little too slight for that, though. My parents wouldn't sign the permission.
I think I'm faster than everyone else, and it's not true. But I've always been kind of fast, and I'm now getting into my athleticism phase, and it's a little too late.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I would say wide receiver.
Was that where the FidDad comes from?
Yes, the delusion. Yes, absolutely.
It is a delusion.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I just tried out for the Delaware Bluecoats.
Mm-hmm.
They had me come out to try out for the Sixers minor league team, and I was like, "Oh man, this feels great." The next day, the day after, I'm like, "I don't feel so great anymore." Nope. Favorite sporting event you've been to? You kind of alluded to the NFC Championship game was pretty cool.
That was awesome. Actually, I still, for some reason, remember this guy I used to work with. His dad had season tickets to the Flyers. It's the only Flyers game I've ever been to. I don't even remember what team they were playing, but it came down to the last 5 seconds, and Flyers had a breakaway. They were down, I think the game was tied, and he ended up scoring. It was the craziest. I mean, the energy in that place. I was right on the glass, and people are banging. I was I'm coming back to this all the time now.
Yeah. Flyers games get hype. It's better when they're good.
Yes, yeah.
There is another one without an answer. Why can't pigs play soccer?
I feel like I should know these.
I feel like I should know these too.
I was going to say I might have to look these up.
These written down somewhere, right? There's got to be a good answer to these.
Let's see.
It's a good thing I can cut these. Why can't pigs play soccer? Should have wrote the answer down. I didn't. All right, next. Coolest place you've been thanks to your gig?
Coolest place I've been. Jeez. I got invited to a Bad Boys junket. And Will Smith and Martin Lawrence showed up.
No.
And Will Smith is my entertainment icon.
Yeah.
So when he was a foot away from me on the stage, I was like, "Don't cry, don't." I was like, "Don't cry, don't do that." But yeah, that was a cool one. God, I mean, I in the last couple of years we've done some really cool stuff. But yeah, that one
hard to beat
stands
that.
out. Yeah, it kind of stands out. Yeah,
that's amazing. Rank your kids from favorite to least favorite.
Pass. No.
Next. I wanted to see what you would say. Last thing you binge watched.
We're in the middle of binge watching something, but we actually just finished The Perfect Couple on Netflix.
Oh, everyone's talking about that, right?
That was
that
a
when my
really
wife
good
was
one.
watching The Perfect Couple? Is that with Nicole Kidman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I glanced. I saw your video. I'm I was sitting back and I'm reading a book, and she's got the computer on the bed, and I'm like, What's
I
she
didn't
up
know
to?
the author of the book follows me, and she saw the story and was like, she commented
Is
on
that
my
right?
video that I made, and I was like, I had no idea you followed me. That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. But I felt you there. I was like not really paying attention, but I'm like, what are
That
they,
was a
what-
funny video
what are
to
they up
record.
to?
We were barely getting through that one.
What's your biggest kid pet peeve? So from the kids, like what?
When they repeat themselves over and over and over again. And it's usually not even at me, it's at Jackie. And they will, Mom.
Yes.
Stop. Just
Yes.
once. That's all.
Yes.
She heard you. I promise you, she heard you.
That's a tough one. You're absolutely correct about that. Would you rather change a diaper or change a tire?
Tire.
Really?
Dead serious.
Yeah? How many diapers have you changed, though? Six kids over the years?
We've changed a lot of diapers. She's probably changed more than I have, but that was kind of always our silent agreement is like, I don't know why, I just don't like diapers. And I'm like, I have to change them.
I know
but
why.
like,
It's terrible.
Yeah, they're terrible. But yes, would much rather change a tire than a diaper.
I am actually quite surprised you said that.
Yeah.
I think I might agree with you, though, but my wife will still not let me off the hook. I'm still changing diapers now with a 1-year-old. Dave, this was fun.
Yeah.
Tell the people where they can find you on the socials.
FidDad CEO on all socials, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and yeah.
How many followers are you up to now?
Oh God, combined? I mean, including
A
Facebook?
zillion?
No, like 3 million followers. Something
pretty-
like that.
it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, just over 3 million followers combined.
Before you go, I need to know the answer of why can't pigs play soccer?
I kind of want to know that Eagles
Why-
question too.
Oh, they like to hog the ball.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.